and welcome to Central News for Tuesday the 17th of December. I'm Hilary Entwistle. In today's news, Eastside Church in Hamilton have for the first time ever created their very own drive-in movie this Christmas. The Star has been written, casted and produced by the church and is being screened to the public for free from the 18th to the 21st of December. Pastor Sheridan Rogers of Eastside Church says The Star presents the Christmas story in a unique and special way.
The Star is a 35-minute drive-in film for the whole family. It's a Christmas story with modern day life in the Waikato woven right through the theme. You'll love it, it's fantastic.
Tauranga City Council is proposing to make it cheaper to set up brothels in the city and is proposing to drop council costs for brothels by 70% in the upcoming annual plan. New applications for brothel consents under the prostitution bylaw are proposed to be reduced from $930 to $210. A 3-yearly renewal will cost $700. Council staff says it's a 3-year review process. There are 5 operators and the council fee is to set recover costs. It is unknown if the cost reduction will be passed on. Tauranga's Grace Hospital is set to bring significant changes to the face of Bay of Plenty's private day-stay surgical scene, investing $6 million into a new state-of-the-art building project. The project, announced yesterday, involves constructing a ground floor wing beside the existing hospital and another floor above to provide an additional 1,300 square metres of space. Grace Hospital General Manager Janet Keys says the key addition is a dedicated day-stay theatre and an endoscopy procedure room which addresses patients' needs for privacy and comfort and meets or exceeds the standards for such facilities. Now for our region's weather, Hamilton fine with afternoon showers. Your expected high is 21 and an overnight low of 12. Tauranga, your Wednesday will have fine spells with the chance of a shower. Your expected high is 23 and an overnight low of 13. Just ahead, Christmas in the Park in Tauranga. Welcome to Central News on TV Central. Christmas in the Park is coming to Tauranga for the first time ever. It will be held in conjunction with the Little Big Markets, and donations will benefit the Tauranga Food Bank, Care Trust and Women's Refuge. I spoke with the organiser to see what kind of atmosphere they're hoping for.
Well, it's just really family orientated and really Christmassy, you know. I guess it's even at our normal markets we have such a great local sort of Kiwiana type atmosphere, and it just keeps growing and growing. So we're going to have, it's an event that's catering for all demographic. So, you know, you can come down with your family, you know, teenagers can come down, your parents can come down. So I think we're just really looking for a happy day where everyone can just relax. It's kind of the end of the year and they're just able to enjoy themselves.
Will there be stalls there?
Yeah, we're going to have 130 stall holders there. So the event is pretty much just an extension of our normal everyday market. So, and that's kind of how we started it. So there's going to be obviously 150 stall holders, so you can come down and buy direct from, you know, the makers, and we're going to have a kiddies carnival area. There's obviously the food side of things, so you can come down and have dinner or lunch because it starts at 2 and finishes at 10. And we're also having the Night Owl Cinema there, so they're going to be doing Home Alone 2, and that starts at 7:30, so that's for the little kiddies or families or whoever wants to watch it. And there's obviously the music as well. So there's a bit of everything for everyone really. So it's going to be a really good day, well, really good day and night.
And so the music and the entertainment will be throughout the day?
Throughout the day. So the entertainment starts at 2. So we basically, I know that our headline acts are doing sort of, I think Tiki and Anna are doing half-an-hour sets, and then Holly and Anika are going to be doing 50-minute set. But before that, like I said, we're going to have Christmas carolers, we're going to have local performers, so they all start at 2 o'clock and just keep running after the other. So it's pretty much going to be similar to a festival. So you'd come down, you can listen to some music, you can get something to eat, you can go shopping, the kids can play in the carnival area. So there's going to be something to do throughout the whole time that you're there.
And will you have alcohol there?
We are licensed, so there's only a small section that is licensed. We were licensed last year as well, but we're not actually advertising it as much, in the sense that we obviously know that this is a family orientated event, but like myself, I have a child, I still want to be able to go down there and have maybe a glass of wine while I'm watching the entertainment or just meandering around and doing some shopping. So so it is licensed, but there will be no alcohol being bought on the premises. It'll just be facilitated there. Yeah.
If it is a success, will you look at doing it again next year?
Absolutely. This is our 3rd year running. It's just that this year is on a different platform because we've moved from our normal site, which is corner of Mātai and Maunganui Road, to Blake Park. So we will definitely 100% continue it every year. So it's Tiki is on board for us for the long haul, so you'll definitely be seeing him playing each year, and you know, whether the other artists that we've got this year come back next year or we get new ones, or you know, so it's definitely going to continue to evolve and to continue to stay around.
Now, Little Big Markets, that's been around for a while, so tell us about how you started.
So my husband and I started the Little Big Markets purely because I just absolutely love vintage items, and both of us lived overseas for a long time, and that's what we used to do on a Saturday morning. We'd go down and we'd go to the markets, we'd buy some food and we'd buy some product, and then we'd come home. And when we moved back here, there was just not really anything like that. And for a long time, I sort of kept joking around with my husband, saying, oh, you know, I'm going to start a market and I think we should do it and I think it's going to be great. And we were like, yeah. Until finally we just decided to do it. I think it was just it was at a really good time. And we actually started out having a retail store, and I did sort of vintage product in there. And because it went so well, we decided to just do our own market, and it started out with 20 stall holders 5 years ago, and we now have 150 stall holders, you know, so it's just grown over the years into what it is today, which is amazing for us. So it's kind of gone from a hobby into a business. So yeah.
And what kind of stores do you have now?
We have loads of different type of stall holders. Like we have food, we have fashion, we have photographers, we've got craft, we've got jewellers. You know, you can buy, you've got lots of kiddies clothing, kiddies toys, garden art. It's just so many different types of stall holders, which is great because, I mean, I like to shop somewhere where I've got a variety. So we've got something for women, something for men. Yeah, it's really, really good.
So when is it held?
It's held once a month, so the first Saturday of every month is in our Mount location, which is corner of Mātai and Maunganui Road, next to Zespri, and that's once a month. And then we have also this season initiated one on the Tauranga's waterfront, and that is once a month as well, which is on a Friday night, and we do that in collaboration with the Night Owl Cinema. So we have the markets running from 5 till 9, and then we have the cinema starting at 9 onwards till it finishes.
Why do you want to do the Tauranga one as well?
We always felt, again, we knew that we had to expand, you know, like, but we just didn't want to make, we wanted to still make it local, and we knew that Tauranga really needed something. We know that Tauranga needs a little bit of injection of life, and coming from having a retail store over in the CBD, we knew that we needed something over there. So I feel like it was the right time for us to do it, and we still have the same people that come to our Mount ones go to our Tauranga one, but we're just injecting life into the city in the sense like all of the bars and restaurants that are along the Strand are just so thankful that we do our market there once a month. And so I think that it's more than just a market, we're actually helping the CBD come alive again.
Christmas in the Park will be held at Blake Park this Saturday, the 21st of December, from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Coming up next, the Christmas Appeal. Welcome back. The Christmas Children's Appeal is just one of the great events happening at the Waikato Museum over the Christmas and summer period. Harriet went to the museum to see the exhibitions and events for herself.
So what is the Children's Christmas Appeal all about? Harriet, we decided this year we wanted to have a community focus for our Christmas events at the museum, and while the appeal isn't an event, we thought we'd collect gifts under our Christmas tree for 2 charities, and the staff voted for Women's Refuge and the Salvation Army. So we approached them and they were really happy with what we were doing. And it's going really well. We are collecting gifts. We're just asking people to label them and denote a boy or a girl or even a parent, because women, some of the women who take their children to Women's Refuge don't really get a lot for Christmas, so we're welcoming that as well. They have told us though that it's really important that the gifts are new, so yeah.
And what date can gifts be dropped off until?
They can be dropped off any day until the 20th of December, and because we're open all day every day, well, we're open from 10 o'clock until 4:30, it makes it easy for people to drop them in.
Now, you also have some other very festive events going on, so can you tell us a little bit more about Santa's workshops?
Well, Santa's workshops have been really exciting. We've had 2 so far. And this is again the first year we've done the workshops. They're $5. They happen from 3:30 until 4:30 on Mondays. We've got the last one on Monday. And the idea is that children can come along with their parents or parent, and they can make gifts for Christmas. And they can either make them to keep or they can make them to sell at our German style Christmas market we have on the 20th. That's a Christkindl market, if anyone wants to Google that. It's a very big thing in Germany. Our public programs coordinator, Sibylla, is German and she wanted to introduce it here. So that's happening next Friday from 11 o'clock until 2. So that's our other big event. We're asking people to book stalls for that, and people can come along and buy or sell for $2.
You've also got some very popular exhibitions here at the moment, including famed corrugation artist Jeff Thompson. So can you tell us about that?
Jeff Thompson, that exhibition came to us from Tauranga Art Gallery, so we're the first gallery that has had it since they curated it. It's been open since November, and it's been one of our more popular exhibitions this year. Jeff Thompson is described as the Iron Man of Australasia. He's a bit of a character. He's famous for cladding I think it's an HQ Holden in corrugated iron, and that car is in Te Papa. He's made a lot of mailboxes, a lot of chickens, some extraordinary looking dogs, and the exhibition is here until January the 16th. It's free. And I think people will find it really quite interesting.
And what has the feedback been like so far from these exhibitions that you've got going on at the moment?
I think a lot of people are surprised because often, corrugated iron artwork is not unusual in New Zealand, but Jeff puts quite a quirky spin on it, and this exhibition represents 30 years of his work, and he's gone to people who have commissioned work and borrowed it back. So we have a giraffe here from Kim.com's garden. We have various mailboxes. Some of them are pretty wild and wacky. A whole pen full of chooks. All sorts of things. Jeff cuts lace into corrugated iron, and he weaves corrugated iron. And my favourite thing is the water tank. The water tank is full of fish. And it's quite surprising, and I don't know if I call it beautiful, but I wouldn't call it rustic either. It's very Jeff Thompson.
So with school holidays and Christmas break coming up, why would you encourage families to come and pay a visit to the Waikato Museum?
Well, one of the great reasons for visiting us is that many of our galleries are free and we're open 7 days. We do find we have more people visiting us when it's raining, but on sunny days you may find the galleries are nice and cool, and we're a nice escape. And one of the other Christmas events I haven't talked about is the Santa Trail. We've hidden a number, I nearly said how many there were, but we've hidden a number of Santas in our galleries, and children can locate them, fill out a form and put their entry in to win a Roman Machines prize pack. Roman Machines is our blockbuster exhibition. It's opening on the 25th of January, and it was developed and built in Italy by the artisans of Venice, and it involves 30 hands-on, interactive, authentic Roman machines. And we've all learnt a lot about Rome since while we've been working on this. For example, the Romans invented a lot of things we use today, including catapults, concrete roads, aqueducts, and I've just found out even the whoopee cushion. So there's no whoopee cushions in the exhibition, but there are catapults, and it's a pretty amazing experience.
And with so much going on at the moment, how can people find out more information or find out more about the exhibitions that are here at the moment?
It's a really good question, Harriet, because often people say, how do I find out? We have a website, waikatomuseum.co.nz, which lists all of our exhibitions and our events calendar, because as well as exhibitions, events are a big part of what we do here. We also send out an email newsletter once a month, and that gives people a heads up to what's happening the following month. And to go onto that database, visit our website and just click on join our database, and we'll send that to you. And we have a 3-monthly brochure which can be picked up from the museum, or we can mail it out. Oh, and I forgot, sorry, Facebook. Please follow us on Facebook, Waikato Museum, and Arts Post has a Facebook page as well.
That website for more information was waikatomuseum.co.nz. Coming up next, we find out about the new green space planned for the Mount. If you have just joined us, welcome to Central News. The Tauranga Council has decided to create a green space for the Phoenix car park in Mount Maunganui, funded by the Development Contribution Fund for Reserves and Green Spaces. I spoke with a man behind the bid to see what he envisions will happen with the space.
The important thing with this space is that it looks like what the community wants it to look like. It's critical that the community have some buy-in to these spaces and they actually use them. So I see it as being a mixture of different elements, both hard landscaping and soft landscaping. It's a space that people need to be able to use and feel as though they're apart from each other, but also not isolated. And yet at the same time, it needs to be a space that can be used as one space for large gatherings or groups or things like markets.
What was the council looking at doing with the space instead?
The council were going to, or proposing to, sell the Phoenix car park for redevelopment into more shops and offices. They were looking to recover money by doing that, and they were seeking plans from developers, proposals for. So it would have been more shops and no more open space.
Some argued about car parks. What would be your solution to that?
It's a fair question. It was always going to be something that needed to be addressed. If you take away car parks in the middle of a CBD, then some people are going to say, well, you know, that's not a good idea. My feeling is it's not a good idea to have car parks in the middle of a CBD anyway. It's poor use of highly valuable land. There are options nearby. The Mount CBD is not enormous, and the Phoenix car park is hardly utilised for 10 months of the year. In fact, right now we're in the middle of Christmas shopping, and I've just been for a look down there earlier, and I think there were 10 cars in a 55 car park space. So I think that kind of proves the point that there is ample parking in the Mount anyway, and it's only for very limited periods of time that there is surplus demand, and in those times it wouldn't matter how much parking you had, there wouldn't be enough car parks. So Coronation Park is on the fringe of the CBD. It's not used hardly at all anyway, and it's not too far for people to walk. It's really something like about 50 metres from the edge of the shopping area anyway. So Coronation Park's a good option to relocate those parks and have a higher and better use for the central area, which we know is Phoenix Car Park at the moment.
How would you like the space to be used during weekdays?
During the week, I see it as a place where workers can have time out from their offices, they can meet each other, and also shoppers can take some time out from shopping, have a rest, have a coffee, sandwich, whatever it might be. People can meet there, they can relax there. We obviously have a lot of cruise ships into the Mount. It's a space where people who happen to be in the CBD anyway can either go to or will find their way to enjoy the atmosphere.
And what about on the evenings and on the weekends?
In the evenings, the Mount has quite a vibrant restaurant scene, and this can be an extension of that. So I think it will obviously, particularly in summertime, it will get used for that reason. It's an area that's away from the wind, so with coastal situation that we're in, it's a sheltered space as well. So I think in evenings it can still be a meeting place, and then there are the options of other gatherings like potentially concerts and movies, you name it really.
And there's a market there currently, would that continue?
Markets are in the weekends, and so I think the weekend thing, those ideas about the evening uses extend into weekends, and I think, you know, really the world's your oyster about. You get an open space like this located in a place like that, and it's only really limited by what people's imaginations are.
And what's going to be the process to kind of decide what to do with the space?
Okay, so the critical thing in this is that my approach hasn't been to dictate what the design must be. I think that's very dangerous ground to stray into. This is about an asset for the community, and parts of the community might have quite strong ideas about what's appropriate or how they want to use it. My idea is just that it's not a playground. This is, someone said to me, this is a space where adults take their children, not a place where children take their parents. The rest of it, the features of it and so forth, are things where the community needs to provide feedback to the designers, because the studies that I've read indicate quite strongly that these parks succeed best where the community feels involved in it. So that's why it's important for the council process to have some good consultation and seek out a variety of suggestions.
And there was talk of maybe a survey?
Yes, I think part of the consultation is to survey the locals. I'm quite keen on there being some sort of design competition, so where people can think outside the square or give the council some design ideas, whether they are local people or even internationally, where people have experience in these things.
To find out about the decision and to have your say, you can visit the Tauranga Council's website. That is the news for today. Email us or like us on Facebook and let us know about your own news you would like us to cover. Join me again tomorrow night. I'm Hilary Entwistle. Have a lovely evening.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.